What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. Today, I am with Broshmo back again with our top 25 teams in college this year. We're kind of doing personally, I'm doing a hybrid flex of doing what I think they're going to end up in the rankings as well as my personal opinion on the team. But Broshmo, I'm going to let you talk about what you did with your roster and let it go from there.
Yeah, I just went with how I think they're going to finish the season.
Nice.
Yeah, nice and boring.
Nice and boring. So, giving you guys a quick preview of what's going to happen. We're going to go from 1 to 25. I'll be popping up his graphic on the screen from time to time, just so you guys continue to get a mental refresh on that. My dumbass does not have the capabilities yet, nor the time to be able to make something as beautiful as his. So, instead of you being able to judge me, we're going to be able to enjoy what Broshmo has to do, and we're going to just counter it that way. So, starting off with my number one team, which we both did.
You want to go one down? You don't want to start from 25?
You know what? Yeah, I might as well keep them interested in the video until the end. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. Once they get to the 4, they're like, all right, screw this. I don't care anymore. There goes your watch time.
All right, so we're gonna see my my hatred for the Pac-12 here, because at number 25, even though they are a pretty damn solid team with a solid young quarterback, I got Arizona State. And honestly, Broshmo, let's do it this way. I'm going to give my 25 to 20. We'll do it in fives, just so we don't have to continue going back, forth, back, forth.
Okay.
Yeah, just so we get a general flow so people can keep track of what's going on. Number 24, I got Oregon. Really, the issue is the quarterback there. We got damn good defense. And, they lost their star left tackle, so that hurts me inside, but that's okay. Then I got a couple of pretty weird ones with LSU and Florida going 23 and 22 right there. Again, LSU, we got the quarterback issues. Were they even ranked last year?
I don't know if I don't think they were ranked at the end of the year.
Yeah, so I'm giving them some credit there. And then Florida, I'm just not an Emory Jones fan. So, you lose Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts as well as Kyle Trask. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. Kyrie Elam's going to be probably the only reason why they're ranked, in my opinion. And going to my final two, which is 21 and 20, these are both controversial. Got Virginia, because I'm a huge fan of Lavelle Davis Jr., and I believe that Armstrong is going to take a jump as well. 6'7" wide receiver who is extremely athletic, who I think he had a touchdown at least in every single game he played. He's unbelievable, and he's going to be a big prospect in next year's draft, not this year's. And then I got SMU, because we have an extremely stacked wide receiver core with a young quarterback, as well as still a really solid running game. I think our running back is arguably one of the best in the country. Very underrated. And our defense just got a lot better with some transfers as well as some good commits. Now, on to you, my good sir.
I heard that bias with SMU. You said we.
Yes, I do live in Dallas, Texas. So,
all right. Well, starting at 25, I got Louisiana, not State, Louisiana. They bring back a lot of starters. I know they like their two-headed running back attack, and they lost, was it Regis and Mitchell?
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, but like Chris Smith was actually just as good. He was kind of like the third man in there. So, and they bring back their quarterback, Levi Lewis. Then I got 24, Auburn. I hate Bo Nix too. I get it. TJ Finley's there. I don't know if he starts, but he's there as a backup option. But this is a really good defense that they won't be hard to score on, or they won't be. Yeah, they will be incredibly hard to score on. And you know what? Tank Bigsby, man, just hop in the tank.
Yeah,
ride him to victory.
Yeah, I love.
Then 23. This one might be a little bit weird. Minnesota. They got a stupid experienced quarterback in Tanner Morgan. I know he's last year was kind of trash, but to be fair, the Big Ten was kind of trash last year, playing all of 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
But he does have Chris Ottoman Bell at receiver. While he's not Bateman, he's not Tyler Johnson. He's pretty good in his own right.
Yep.
And a very veteran offensive line in front of him. And then defensively, they got a couple stars here and there, but
you got Fayalele, right? He didn't come out for the draft, so
he opted out last year, so he's going to be back again this year.
Yeah, 6'7", 6'8", 400 pounds, baby.
Big boy.
Tanner was my number 2 or 3 player in this last year's draft class before he decided to come. Before realized how crap he was. I thought he was better. I ranked him better than Trevor Lawrence after because I didn't watch every throw. That was just a
Oh,
stupid.
dude, it's an RPO system there, and he runs it efficient enough.
He has good anticipation. I'll give him that. Just
Yeah.
that's. But was that your 20? I totally.
That was my 23. 22, I got Wisconsin.
Okay.
Graham Mertz, he's coming back after an interesting season where he blew the top off Illinois and then he got hurt and didn't look so great, but he comes back healthy. They got a very good offensive line. The defense, like especially the secondary, despite losing a few starters, should be very capable. So I got them at 22. I got TCU at 21. I love their secondary. What are you shaking your head? Oh, because okay, screw you, dude.
I can't stand it. They lost their best secondary.
Dude, they bring in TJ Carter from Memphis. He's gonna be playing. He's gonna be actually playing safety. You can roll your eyes, man. I was really high on him last year. Then Noah Daniels, Travarius Hodges,
Yeah.
Tomlinson. They're extremely good. I think they have a couple of good edge rushers there too. So despite, I think the offense, they need to really rely on Zach Evans at running back. I think he's a sophomore this year, former 5-star recruit. So they're going to lean on the run game. Regardless, secondary is good. I think they could maybe sneak into the top 21 if Max Duggan improves at all.
Yeah.
And then my 20 is Boston College.
Okay.
They just got a lot of great starters everywhere. Offensive line's amazing. Jervek, he brings back both his top targets from last year outside of was it Hunter Henry. Brings back Zay Flowers, Jalen Gill, and yeah, go Dolphins. Fins up.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have a little faith in the secondary. They bring in a guy I actually drafted in a Madden rebuild from Florida State in Jaden. What is it? Jaden Woodbay or something like that.
Okay.
And then also their corners are actually pretty darn good, and I'm a sucker for good corner play. So I think they're going to be good enough in a so-so ACC.
Okay. Well, now going from my 19 to 15. Yeah, I got Boston College there. So we're pretty lockstep right there. Don't need to explain that any further. You got it right on the nose. I think Phil Dracovic I think he's overrated by the people who love him. And then I think people kind of underrate him for the people who don't like him. And I'm a Phil Dracovic fan, but similar to Zach Wilson, I don't think his actual arm is great. I think his throwing is excellent. Like when he has a solid platform, great. But I see this guy underthrow every single ball when he's not like solidly planted on the ground. Something that I have a big problem with.
Off platform.
Oh yeah. And at 18, I got Coastal Carolina. I think that you have a better description of them because I know that you probably have them coming up soon. And I mean, I'm a pretty big fan. If you guys watch my quarterback rankings, I do have Grayson McCall as one of my top 10 quarterbacks. And I think that they're just a pretty solid team overall. Super solid. I think they lost Taron Jackson as one of their edge rushers. Pretty talented.
Yep. I can't really think of anyone else.
Yeah, they didn't
outside of the running back.
Yeah, the
Marvell
running back.
or whatever. Or
I'm bugging on his name as well. Pretty solid overall. 17, I got UCF. I know they didn't make your list. I just think
were just missed it.
They're in the honorable mentions for you. I think Dylan Gabriel, if he doesn't get fractured because he's 180 pounds, is going to be pretty damn solid. And that defense, I mean, you lose a 24-year-old pretty much. You lose a guy who runs 4.7, and then you lose Tay Gowan, who probably didn't play that much. I didn't even play at all last year. Nope. So, I mean, you're pretty much returning a more experienced team. Pretty big fan of that. And then I got Ole Miss at 16. So I'm pretty high on my team right there, Ole Miss. I just think that Lane Kiffin's their OC, right? Or their HC?
Yeah.
They're
going to be scoring 40 and giving it up 55.
Exactly. But I think that Matt Corral is going to take a good leap of progression again. He showed what he can do. I think he needs to be more consistent, and I have faith in my former high school quarterback. And then at 15, I got Wisco, which, I mean, we already talked about Wisco. I like Wisco. Mertz, solid. And then they always have a good offensive line and running game. So I trust them. And now on to you, sir.
Well, starting at 19, I got Arizona State. It's a very good team there. Mm-hmm. Jaden Daniels is in year 3 as a starter. So they run a pretty simple approach, and I think they're going to be a good squad. I I don't know how eligible they're going to be after this whole recruiting thing.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
And then I got Iowa at 18. I love everything about this team but the quarterback.
Yeah.
The quarterback is, I mean, at best, he's average. There's no real home run threats on the squad.
Yeah.
It's really going to be a grinded out nickel and dime type of offense, but the defense returns a ton of starters. So I think they're going to be at least quality in the Big 12, 10. There we go.
Yeah.
Too many big
Yeah.
conferences out there.
I know.
Then I have LSU. I think they rebound. They got an extraordinarily good defense, even though they didn't play up to snuff last year. It was a weird season for defenses in general. Yeah. Defenses were just bad across the board. I think they come back and they rebound. I think they have the talent. I think the talent on their defense is close to Bama and Georgia. Also, Miles Brennan was actually pretty good before he went down. So
yeah.
I think they might have some offense.
Okay.
Coastal Carolina. They're just a mean team. We were talking before this that I don't think honestly they're gonna realistically crack the top 15 just because their strength of schedule. Their toughest non-conference game is Kansas. In actuality, their toughest game is their division or conference opponent in Louisiana. Like, it's a good team. They return a lot of starters on defense.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna literally run the show there in the was it the Sun Belt they're in?
I think they're in the Sun Belt, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just strength of schedule is kind of a thing. And to finish off at 15, I got Florida. Kind of like, I know I'm a little higher on you on them than you are. Yeah. The defense really underperformed last year, but they returned a ton of starters that I love. Elam, Ventrell Miller, got Zachary Carter, which is like I love him as a draft prospect. I'm probably through the moon about him though. Brandon Cox, the defense, if they play up to their talent, their skill, it's going to be really, really good. Yeah. And yes, the big question obviously is Emory Jones, and you kind of touched up on that. I apparently have a little more faith than you do.
A little bit.
What
do you think about the run game for him?
Oh, it should be solid. Honestly, I saw someone saying that their best pass catcher is who do they got at running back, actually?
Is it Pierce? Is that his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm bugging on it. Wait, so is 15 Florida for you?
Yeah, 15 is Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I have him 7 spots behind, which is understandable given the fact that I am lower on Emory Jones. So,
I mean, I got the SEC bias working for me, so
I think the entire AP top 25 is going to be having the SEC bias for him. So, I'm the one who's out of the blue with S. Well, you have TCU in there. They lost they lost their 3 best starters last year.
You're not wrong. I don't know why. Malik Davis is the running back.
Malik Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I like TCU, dude. Maybe it's just the jerseys.
It could be. They do have some sick unis. I'll step down from my pride for that. But starting off my number 14 team, this is a team that you got a lot higher, Indiana. I just don't know how Penix is going to do after his ACL tear, and that's a big issue for me. His accuracy is already a little bit iffy, so if he's not comfortable in that knee, that's going to be kind of an issue for me. And they also lost my boy Jamar Johnson. So I think those are 2 really critical pieces to be taken away from both the offense and the defense. Still have faith in them, though. I mean, they were as good as they were last year after being nobody. So cheers to them on that one. Then I got Liberty at 13. I think that, honestly, Malik Willis – his name – yeah, Malik Willis, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Davis, I'm like, wait a second. Malik Willis.
Malik Reed?
Yeah, it's like he's going to be absolutely amazing. Miami – I just think I love the U. Exactly. Put up the U. I think they're great. I don't like their running attack so much. And
you don't like Cameron
Harris? No.
Harris, thank you. I was like, I just know Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron.
Thinking of the rapper.
I know. And then I'm in their Knighton guy or whatever his name is. I'm not a huge fan of him personally, and I don't think De'Aaron King. I've always been a huge fan of De'Aaron King. I just don't think that he's built for the NFL anymore.
He's not. That's why I stayed the extra year in college.
That's true. Yeah.
College glory, man.
He also got an ACL tear, didn't he? So I don't even know if he's even going to be back for part of the season.
He should be.
Yeah.
Typically now it's like 6 months with an ACL tear. Like,
God bless medicine.
Yeah, right.
God bless medicine. But my number 11 team is USC. I just think Pac-12 is garbage. So they're going to run the show. And they have some really talented guys. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be a big loss to them, as well as their other guy, Tyler Vaughn's. But we're both fans of Drake London. So I think that they'll do perfectly fine with that. And at number 10, I got UNC. So I really don't know where the hell to put them. They're either going to be probably around 20 to 25, or else you're going to be in the they're probably top 7. So it really depends on how the team shapes up after losing their top 4 targets. On to you, good sir.
All right. Well, you're higher on my team than I am. I got the Hurricanes at 14.
Yeah.
I think they return a lot of talent. I know defensively, the pass rush, it's a kind of a concerning, man. We lost a lot of guys. Quincy Roche and Jalen Phillips, and Gregory Russo didn't even play last year. So I'm a little concerned, but the secondary should improve. They brought in Georgia transfer something Stevenson.
I know who you're talking about.
Gosh, yeah. And I'm really excited. I think this guy could be actually a legitimate prospect too. He just wasn't seeing the playing time at Georgia. And plus, the offense, like the offense looks good. I think it's good for the ACC.
Definitely.
13, I got Texas A&M. I love everything about this squad but the quarterback.
Yeah.
Literally I was like doing the math here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was it Zach Calzada and Haynes King?
I have Haynes King easily taking that job.
Yeah, exceptionally unproven. Both have like 61 career snaps combined.
Yeah.
So
very, very young for both.
Yeah. So it's like I got them at 13, and that's me being down on them. That just speaks to how talented the rest of the roster is.
Yeah.
12, I got Oregon. Weak Pac-12, I think they're going to do well enough. Anthony Brown, well, I don't think he's anything special. I think he's a competent quarterback that could lead this offense, and that defense is just Cocoa for Cuckoo Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa?
Yeah, there you go. I was like, all right, we'll just reverse it for the time.
Yeah, something's wrong there. Iowa State, number 11. They almost bring back everybody for this roster. I think Brock Purdy, if he could play like he did down the stretch, kind of like how he played in his sophomore and freshman season, then this team's going to be competitive. And it's going to be the only team that will probably be able to test Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Sorry, Texas fans. Horns down. And then 10, Notre Dame. They got a tough schedule, but honestly, they bring in I think he was from Wisconsin, Jack Cohen.
Yeah, Captain Jack.
Yeah. I don't think that's a big difference from Ian Book.
I don't either.
Yeah. So, they lost a lot of guys on the offensive line, but they also brought in some guys, like Marshall's guard, Kane Madden.
Dude, it's Notre Dame. They're gonna have a good offensive line. It's like Wisconsin. Or Western Kentucky, you already know they're going to have solid offensive line. It doesn't matter who is there. You can put a fucking potato there. They'll end up it's going to be like a potato from Plants vs. Zombies. It's just.
Oh, you're not wrong.
It's true.
You're not wrong. I
true.
think this team's at least a 2-win team, or even if, or 2-win, 2-loss team.
Yeah.
Even if they lose 3, their schedule is actually.
Yeah.
Kind of rough. Not rough. It feels like an SEC schedule.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, so starting to count down from number 9 down to number 5.
Number 9.
Exactly. Number 9, we already talked about them, Iowa State. I have a lot of faith in them. You have I could see them having 2 top 5 Heisman contenders. If Brock Purdy gets his head and ass wired together, he started doing that at the end of last season. So
yeah, I'm very encouraged because I loved him, dude. Dude's a slinger.
Same. I'm a big fan of Brock Purdy. You also have, of course, Breece Hall, who is an absolute stud. So awesome for them. Then I have TAMU, Texas A&M. I like Haynes King. So again, there's going to be that big like, oh shit moment. But I think that the entire SEC is pretty much out of like really talented quarterbacks, apart from my number 1 team, which I'm not going to leave. I'm going to leave that right there. I just think that, I'm not sure any of these teams. You look at Alabama. You even look at, this isn't SEC, but Ohio State with Stroud, you just don't know if they're going to be ready. So I think Iowa State can just step in, do a good job. Not Iowa State, Texas A&M can step in, do a good job. I didn't think Kellen Mond was that special. And I think that Haynes King is perfect with his athleticism. He's going to be perfect for that scheme. So then I have Notre Dame at 7. Don't really know how Mr. Cohn's going to fit in there.
Good
However,
enough.
good enough. The line's going to be solid. Defense is going to be solid. They have the
Oh yeah.
number 4 guy on PFF's draft board as their safety in Kyle Hamilton, as well as a really solid running attack. So I think that's going to be good enough to keep him at least in top 10 contention. And then at number 6, I have, as Stephen A calls it, Alabama. I got Bryce Young not having some big growing pains, which is okay because I totally understand it. You're going from 2 pretty immobile passers who are more accurate. I really don't think so. To a guy who's a gunslinger with mobility. So I know it's hitting home with the Tua thing, but I mean, I was a much bigger fan of Tua than Mac Jones. So I'll take that on the chin. But I think that there's going to be some growing pains, really damn good defense. But again, this is a team where everybody expects everything. And then we've been expecting that because they've had 4 first-round wide receivers in the past 2 years. Like, they have 0, in my opinion, now. So there's just a big drop everywhere. Evan Neal's going to be a monster, though. I love Evan Neal. There's nobody I love more than Evan Neal.
Dude, Alabama fans are losing it.
Honestly,
if they go 6, they're like, what? Yeah. They've been spoiled, man.
Oh, easily.
Must be nice.
Easily. I'm going to leave number 5. We're just going to do a 5-4-3-2-1. So
yeah, that works. That way you can kind of see who are next in because this is under the whole 4 playoff team thing.
Exactly. So you can go from your 9 to 6.
Number 9, I got Indiana. I'm as you said, I am pretty high on them. I think Penix comes back healthy. Dude's a slinger. He's got some solid weapons in Hendershot, if he could kind of recapture 2019. Yeah. And oh my gosh, who's there? Is it Freifogel?
Yeah, Ty
Freifogel. There we go. Yeah, so he's got legit weapons. The defense, they bring back some good guys and like Tywon Mullen and Micaiah McFadden. Yeah, but yeah, honestly, they only really lost was
Jamar.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they had Isaiah Loudermilk, but let's be honest.
Oh. Even as a Steelers fan, I'm like,
yeah,
that's not much to lose.
Number 8, North Carolina. I absolutely love this. I love Sam Howell. We were talking about this earlier. I don't know what happened. Just someday, like, just fell in love with him, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like the defense a lot. They bring back a lot of starters. I know, Tony Grimes and Storm Duck. First off, best name in college football. But he's a legitimate prospect too. Yeah. It's going to be a tough defense. And even though Sam Howell lost a ton of his weapons, like he's got a couple of guys that, yes, they're a bit unproven, but they're very talented in like Ty Chandler, a running back. And then Bo Corrales or something like that, a wide receiver. Yeah. And he was hurt last year. So
Bo Corrales is sneaky good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good team. USC, I think they're just going to run the table in the Pac-12. They are one of the team outside of like Arizona State, one of the teams that like has the quarterback position figured out. Yeah. And that team's just immensely talented. We talked about Drake London. Didn't even get to the defense with like Drake Jackson. Yeah. So, and Isaiah, I'm going to say it, not Isaiah, Isaac Taylor Stewart. I thought this guy had first round potential. Maybe he lives up to that.
Yeah.
And I said I used to, so
okay,
don't come at me for that. And then 6, Cincinnati. I think they're gonna run the tables in their conference, but like if they don't get a win, like they need to get at least one win over like a Notre Dame or a Indiana to, I think, realistically have a shot in a 14 playoff. Just because that's how the committee is. I'm not a huge fan of Desmond Ridder. I think he's great in the system he runs, but I think he's wildly inaccurate. So,
okay,
or at least downfield.
All right. So I'm gonna do my number 5, and then do you want to just do it back and forth so people?
Like we could do that back and forth.
Yeah, that I didn't want to do it back and forth 25 times. That's gonna be boring as hell for people.
Yeah,
so,
right.
At number 5, I got the Ohio State University. I just don't know what to expect from Stroud. So I love the Ohio State University.
The playoffs.
That's my team right there. It's a big toss up because I have one team in the playoffs right now that most likely will not be there. That it's my shot. I'm gonna call it Ohio State, number 5.
All right, my number 5. I got Georgia. I think they are real contenders in the SEC. Yeah. I like JT Daniels. I think he again, this is pulling from just like his like a 4-game sample size from last year. How good he looked. If he comes out and like he doesn't look like that, then this is going to be a much larger struggle because this is a very talented team. They should be among the front runners in the SEC. I think they have a one-way ticket to the SEC championship
Mm-hmm.
game against let's be honest, Bama.
Yep. I have Alabama being also in the SEC championship. So, all right. Number 4, a team that you just talked about, Cincinnati. I think that I originally had them as my number 2 favorite team in college football, even though I hate them since they play SMU every single year. But I think that they pretty much brought their entire team back, and they have everybody getting better. You said it yourself. Desmond Ridder runs this team extremely well. I think they have a top 20 player at tight end in Josh Wiley, and then Ahmad
Man, you love
Gardner's an
him.
absolute stud. Like I legit love this roster.
Dude,
And
Myjah Sanders. Myjah?
Jai Sanders, yeah, exactly. They brought him back too.
That's a great roster.
Yeah, so they are fully loaded. They're going to run the tables, and I think they might try to schedule something crazy in there if they actually want to change it up. So if they want a chance, they're going to have to beat Notre Dame or something like that.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do it. You're 100% right. That's why I'm saying Ohio State probably will make it over them, but have my hope.
No, I get it.
You're
a lot cooler than me when it comes to these rankings.
no, right? I have the crazy shit. For you, what's
yeah, my first one in is Oklahoma. I think they can be tested a few times in the Big 12, but I think they're immensely talented compared to the rest of the teams there. Spencer Rattler might be the best quarterback in the nation. They actually have some legit weapons. We were talking about earlier, Mims. They got tight end Stoger, who was kind of hurt last year, but he showed quite a bit. Hasselwood, and even their running backs, dude. Kennedy Brooks, I'm like pretty high on. And they also bring in transfer from I think Tennessee in Eric Gray in the backfield.
really?
So
Damn.
yeah,
Tennessee
dude,
2 starters.
this is a really good roster.
Oh, yeah.
And then defensively, they literally could pass rush for days.
Yeah, they're great.
Like it almost doesn't. You could throw me back at corner.
Mm.
I'm really gonna have to only cover the guy for like 2 or 3 steps. That's how good the pressure is. So
Yeah,
I really like Oklahoma.
yeah.
Fortunately.
So for me, my number 3 is Oklahoma. I'm gonna leave it right there just because you did a great job explaining it. There's no need to explain any further. For you, sir?
Mic drop.
Yeah. Number 3.
Mine's Ohio State. I don't see any team unseating them in the Big Ten just yet. Even with the quarterback maybe concerns just because he really hasn't played in Stroud.
Yeah.
But I mean, the dude is a former 4-star recruit. Yeah, I expect he's got to be at least a little good.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, if the defense kind of plays mainly that secondary like steps up, then yeah, I think honestly they have an easy road to the playoffs. So
yeah. Number 2, I have Clemson, which again, the only reason I don't have him number 1 is because I don't know how DJ Uiagalelei is going to do.
Oh, he's gonna be great.
Honestly, he's gonna do great. He's gonna do great. Not Trevor Lawrence level. Maybe he could because he's had some time to develop. But
I thought he looked good when he had to
when he had to step in, yeah, he did a very good job for as young as he was. So that's obviously why I give him the credit. Clemson, they're great. They have some guys like Justin Ross coming back. Pretty big fan of it.
I actually have Clemson as well.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to the list?
Like honestly, the defense should be pretty good. They bring back actually quite a few starters. My only concern is the offensive line. I think it's kind of lackluster.
I agree.
So.
I agree. They also did lose ETN. So
yo, I'm telling you, Lynn J. Freaking what is it, Lynn J. Dixon?
J. Dixon, yeah,
dude. I feel like I've been this guy's hype man for like ever.
Well, that makes
me
finally
gets his time. Yeah,
but my number 1 team, Georgia. They're built really well. They're young. JT Daniels is gonna do fine. It's gonna be perfectly fine. I don't even know if I had him in my top 10 quarterbacks, but I think he's just good enough to totally have the team carry him and just make sure the team is good. He did a great job. I just don't know if on his own as a unique talent he's going to be amazing, but he has everything he needs. Maybe not George Pickens, but I think that will honestly just make him grow even more without having to force the ball down the field to someone who's going to drop it. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that team's so good. Like, honestly.
I know. And for you, my good sir, your number one?
Well, I have Bama, but honestly, talking about Georgia so much, I kind of want to maybe switch.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with Bama. I think their defense is easily the best in the country.
Yeah.
I really like Will Anderson as an up and coming 2023 prospect.
Freaking monster.
Yeah, it's just, man, everyone knows the question marks are with what they lost on offense last year.
Yep.
Losing Mac Jones, losing Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, losing Najee Harris, and replacing them with Bryce Young and Brian Robinson and John Mechie, which I know you love John Mechie.
Yep, I have as my number 8 or 9 wide receiver in the draft. But they also lost their best player, Alex Leatherwood.
Oh, dude, I didn't know you followed the Raiders, bro. I didn't know you were a Mike Mayock guy.
I had like what 4th round grade on Leatherwood. I could not stand.
Did you? Oh man, I was a little higher. I think I was like end of the second round.
I had third. I was being a little hyperbolic.
Oh, okay. I see. But, yeah, I had like a late day 3 grade on Leatherwood. Yeah, typical Raiders pick.
I almost had a late day 3 on Brady Christensen though. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You really hated him.
Mid 3. Yes, I did. But we'll see how that turns out. That is going to be the video for now. Anything else that you want to mention for the time being, Mr. Broshmo?
I guess not really. Hey, check out my YouTube channel. Bam. Shout out. There we go.
So
thanks for having me. How about I be kind and reciprocate the
Thank you.
How about I just not be a douchebag? Thank you.
You never are. So appreciate you for coming on. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.